سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Alhamdulillah, by the fazl and grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have been blessed to be sitting and learning and wanting to learn as to how we can connect, as the title of the retreat is that how we can connect to the most powerful creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the angels, the malaika. So by the grace of Mercy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even this was sitting here, or those of us who are participating, most of us are participating through online, sitting in your homes or in your front of your TVs or laptops or whatever. This in itself, for us to actually be here, to be even sitting and participating online virtually, is also a great blessing and ni'mah, but is also done through this wonderful creation which is the angels. It is the angels, the malaika, who actually came, put it into your head. The invitation came, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the malaika to put into our heads. Yes, the brothers through the media and the marketing, they sent, they sent the invitation. It's the angels that came, made it, facilitated and put in your head that yes, accept, we should accept, and through that we are actually here. So it's a great blessing. We don't appreciate these ni'mas and blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us, but this is truly a blessing. That one is that we hear about them, we talk about them, but we would never really know and we never really connect with them. So alhamdulillah, you're all sat here for what? For the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sat in front of your computer, your laptop, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to benefit yourself in this life as well as akhirah. It is said that a person who has led a good life, that is that person who has pleased Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is at peace with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also he's at peace with his fellow creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the thing where me and you are trying to benefit. When we try to benefit, is that we're trying to wanting what? Comfort and ease and peace. And that is the meaning, very meaning of the religion of Islam. Islam means peace. Is that person who wants ease, who wants comfort, who wants peace, is that if he now brings himself to Islam, the religion is going to give you peace. Through whom? Through the source of peace, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the angels and the malaika and other creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will create ease and peace for you. And for that, myself and yourself, is that when we want ease, when we're in difficulties, what do? When we are in ease and when we're in difficulty and hardship, we try to find somebody who can benefit us. We try to find somebody who can benefit us. So for example, we are in financial difficulty, financial problem. I'm just giving an example here. Is that then we try to find somebody who is well off, rich. I know Ramja Sahab and others, and we'll try to look for Raja Sahab as well. Raja Sahab. We'll look for those people who are multimillionaires, and they're giving us tips how to become millionaires as well. So everybody's hiding now who's got wealth. I just read now. So now what happens is that we look for those people. When we're in financial difficulties, we look for somebody who can help us, i.e. who somebody is well off. We try to find that, yes, and we also have certain individual brothers here who are also well off as well. So we look at CEOs, businessmen, if they can help. In terms of jurisdiction, if we're in trouble in the law, we try to find lawyers, solicitors who can help. Maybe even judges. If we're in health problem difficulty, we look at doctors, we look at consultants, we turn to them. We turn to anybody and everyone who can help us, who can benefit us. So sometimes what happens is that to acquire what? That peace and ease. I'm in difficulty, financial difficulties come, this person has wealth, we think he's going to give me the ease, he's going to give me the peace. This judge, I'm in a law pursuit, there's a case on me, but this judge can help, we think he's going to give me the ease, he's going to give me the peace. Some of us, what happens is that, I'm just giving the example, is that we need to get admission into college or university or madrasa or whatever. What happens, it's all about who you know, isn't it? All of us, we've got this natural mindset, whether we're at home, we've got this natural mindset that if we know somebody, if we network and we then find somebody who's at the top, maybe the principal, maybe the governor, maybe somebody who knows someone that can allow my child to get in or myself to enroll to that university or that college, this is going to give me ease and peace, isn't it? We're always tapping into networking as the buzzword that they call. We're networking with people. It's that whoever your network of folks are, that's who you're going to utilize. So a person, even if you're going for a job interview, for example, PricewaterhouseCoopers has now invited you for a job. There's a position going. You're not going to go. Every single wise person, what they'll do is they think, is there anybody who can give me a leverage, a step ahead? Somebody who works in the firm, somebody who knows the manager, somebody who knows the interview process, somebody who knows what the questions will be. Why? To benefit and to actually get assistance so that you can actually get the job and to get ease and peace. That is what we're doing really effectively. Some of us, what happens, that is the good people. We connect to the good people where the CEOs, the managers, the bosses. Then we're on the streets, that's it. We like to make sure that we're the big man and physically somebody just beating you up. It happens in school. It's happened to a lot of us probably. We've just been bullied. Somebody's beating you up, but you've got a bigger brother or you've got a friend who's who knows how to beat them, who's got some boxing gloves. And what happens? He goes and says, yeah, what's happened? So we try to seek help from them. So sometimes what happens on the streets, stabbings, drugs and so on, we go to those gangster friends, drug friends, the hooligans and all these other people who we think will give us an edge, get our revenge, who will be able to help us to get revenge because of what's happened to us or to fight our territory. In other words, is that there are positive people who can go to get positive and also negative people, negative things, and evil people who can turn to as well. Some of us, well, it's not enough for us with money and wealth and gangstership and so on. We need some other, even more, let the physical, we need to make sure we have complete control over everything. So what happens is that we then hear about things, but for example, you hear stories, some people try to then seek supernatural powers, extraordinary powers, dark arts they call it. You must have heard of dark arts of black magic and spells and voodoos and so on. So they'll turn to these evil practitioners, magicians. Why? It's so that they can attain some benefit. Maybe they want some wealth where their bank manager hasn't been able to help them, where the CEO hasn't managed to help, father-in-law hasn't managed to help, brother-in-law hasn't managed to help, all these in-laws, all these laws, on all the judges, all the police, nobody's been able to help. So what's saying is that, okay, the magician will be able to help. Let's go to him. He is the witch doctor. He is the voodoo man. He is the person we turn to that person will definitely help us, isn't it? That's what we think. We think this person is definitely going to benefit me. Somehow he's going to miraculously get some powers and he will then do his thing. Why? At the back of our minds, as natural fitra of ourselves, is that at the back of our minds we think these people with the black arts and the black magic and the dark arts that they got, is that they will acquire some supernatural power and they will cause some benefit to us, me, myself and yourself. That is what we're thinking. So we go to these practitioners, get the weeds, we put it all over our houses, we wear them, go to sleep, follow exactly what they tell you to do, though maybe is to remove something. We are depressed, we're upset, this family is causing problems, that family is causing problems. We think there's a magic solution and we think this will be the way. That's why. And then what happens is that if the practitioners doesn't help, what happens is that we then try and make sure that the practitioners themselves or ourselves, what we'll do, we'll try to connect to the shayateens and the devils. our other resort. Is that, okay, the magician, the witch doctor is not giving me the potion, I will now learn how to do it myself. So what can we do? We then try to do acts, heinous acts sometimes, horrendous acts, and practices and sacrifices. Some acts they perform is that they will sacrifice their own children, they'll sacrifice their own son, they'll sacrifice their own daughters even, let alone animals. That's another thing. But some of them will even do this just to acquire a connection to a jinn or a shaitan or a devil or a demon, so they can actually acquire something from them. So they can say, yes, I have a supernatural force here. You can't see him, but I've got a supernatural force, and I will be able to what? Seek their help and seek their benefit. Whatever I want, I can benefit myself, and they can help me to acquire these things. So they'll perform magic, they'll perform different acts just to please them, just to get them. And you've heard this many times in the news, you've heard it in different places of the world. These people sacrifice their children, they sacrifice the blood of these people, their daughters or the wives, and in order what? So that they say that they're trying to connect to the demons and they satanic people, and they say, yes, this is the sacrifice we'll give to gain power. So what they do is that they do all of these practices. Why? To please the devil, to please the magicians and what they want, so that they can get some sort of effect, some sort of goodness which they think is good, some sort of help and assistance, so that then they can actually get reality, peace and ease and comfort. That's what they're thinking. So these are all wrong. These wrong people, gangsters, shayateens, the devils, the people who are doing it, they know it's wrong. The people who are going to it, they know it's wrong as well. But for some reason, it's in our heads and our hearts and minds is that we think we just want that benefit. We want that help. We want that force to help us because of X, Y, and Z reasons. And we don't care. Why? So, like I said, that people think that they will actually be able to help us. Now, like I said, that all of these things, going to these evil practitioners, going to the gangsters, going to the CEOs, going to the judges, all the things, if you really want assistance, if you really want help, if you really want ease, if you really want comfort, Islam has given an alternative. Where Islam has said don't do, it always gives you an alternative. So here is that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was and is the mercy for all the world. He saw this at his time. This is nothing new. You know, for me and you, we talk about voodoo and witch doctor and we think, oh, this is funny. This is something we watch in the movies and we hear about it. This can't be real. But it is real. And if you go to if you go to Pakistan, Bangladesh, if you go to African nations and all these other places in the parts of continent area, they are practicing it. They are doing it. But this was also prevalent at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was time, and he was observing this. If you go at the time of Sayyidina Abdullah, the father of Rasulullah and Abdul Muttalib, I'm not going to, this is not a serious session, but even then they were throwing arrows. And what happened? Just so they can save Sayyidina Abdullah. So they were practicing at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, is that they were practicing and they were seeing this around them. So it was wrong, it was incorrect, it was evil, it was vile, and because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they then demonstrated what is the right way, what is the right way, what is the right channel that you should be using, what is the alternative. So he, alayhi salatu wasalam, is that just so they understand, is that if I tell you, look, Harun, just so you know, if I tell you, for example, I'm just telling you is that don't drink Coca-Cola. Now I know please everybody don't. I know you're all looking at me, you're all shocked, and you people at home are all, what have you just said? No, it's a season to have Coca-Cola. No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying this wrong, I'm just saying don't drink Coca-Cola. Now you might be thinking, well, he's taught me, that's my favorite drink, he's taught me. I'll say, here, have some water instead. I know, believe it or not, his favorite drink is water. It's very good, but mashallah. Is that there's Coca-Cola, and if I tell you don't do this, I surely, if I'm a wise person, if I'm a right person, and if I'm just, is that I will have to tell him here, drink this instead, not tea, but the water instead. If I tell you, for example, if Islam says don't eat haram, don't eat this, don't eat pork, let's say, for example, or if I say don't eat this is poisonous, I must give you something which is good and healthy, which won't kill you, which won't harm you. Because me telling you don't do this, there's wisdom behind it. Me telling you to do this and giving you alternative, there's wisdom behind it. Is that when Islam forbids something, when Islam tells you don't do something, Islam, Allah and His Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has also given you an alternative which is healthy, which is pure. So let's look at it. For example, if Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says Islam is telling you is don't worship idols. They're made out of clay, they can't benefit you. Because the asl thing, the reality is that there is no real thing there, there's no benefit there. Worship Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that's the alternative. So Rasulullah was saying this, that's why the people, he could see these people are bowing to idols, they're doing, they're worshipping the sun, they're worshipping the fire, they're worshipping the stars, they're worshipping these idols, which have no power whatsoever. So when Allah is mentioned saying, don't worship these idols, don't worship the stars, don't worship the moon, there's got to be an alternative which is better. And no matter what is that worship, what is the best of the best is what? The one and true Lord, which is Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Worship Him. So whatever alternative Islam gives is the best alternative, it's the most purest. This is with Ibadah and Rububiyyah. Islam says don't follow these people, the gangsters, the movie stars. For example, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, these rich people who everybody want to follow, the Abu Jahl and all these rich people, the emperors and so. Don't follow them. Islam will give the best alternative and the supreme alternative. The most brilliant of examples and alternatives is follow Rasulullah ﷺ. There's Abu Jahl, there's all these evil people who are portraying to be good and portraying to be wealthy, portraying to be someone of status and rank. Don't follow them. Don't follow the Pharaoh. Don't follow these kings and these people who are wealthy. Don't follow the movie star. Don't follow the football stars. Don't follow them. Islam says the alternative what? Follow Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Follow the companions. Follow the awliya Allah Salihin. Follow them. That is the alternative. Is that clear? Is everybody clear? Zoom, just so that we know that the participants are in. Can you all just raise your hands and say, yes, you've understood? Have you understood so far? Is that, what have we said so far, brothers and sisters? What have we said so far? On Zoom, what have we said? Can somebody just summarize what we said so far in a nutshell? Are they typing? Can you just type on the comment box so that I don't want you to fall asleep as well. So it's very important that you know that it's quite interactive. What have we mentioned so far? In a one line, you can, one paragraph, you can summarize what have we said so far. I think they're all asleep today. I know that it's New Year's Eve and so on, but okay. Worshipping Allah, mashallah. Anything else? What have we mentioned so far? The gist you should be saying is that so far after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worship, what we're saying is that people are connecting and people are seeking benefit from alternatives. For example, from people of power and position, from gangsters, from amilins, from shayateens, from magicians, from soothsayers, from fortune tellers, palm readers. All these things people are trying to seek benefit and trying to seek help and assistance. And what we're saying is that when Islam forbids something, when Islam says this is wrong and incorrect, do not do this, Islam gives an alternative which is the best of alternatives. So example we're saying is that don't worship the idols, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't follow these models and role models who are wrong and bad. Follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions and awliya and salihin. That is where we're up to. Is that clear? Is everybody clear? Zoom? Yeah, good. So here, for example, Islam has forbidden you to commit adultery, zina. What's the alternative then? Now you might be thinking, why? There are people who are romancing, who are doing this, and they want to have a good time. It's their trend. Now in school, at the age of 10, 12, people boys and girls are interacting with one another. They're having a relationship. They think it's fun. In the movies, it's all apparent. It's there. It's all over. So people feel agitated. They think if I don't have a boyfriend, if I don't have a girlfriend, it's wrong. No, it's not wrong. Islam has said, no, this is incorrect. If you want relation, if you want halal, if you want the alternative, we said this is wrong. If you want the alternative, what is it? The alternative is nikah. Do nikah, have a marriage. That's the true relationship. That is the real bondship. The other bonds, unfortunately, like in chemistry, you can have a weak bond, and actually when the heat gets when the fire starts coming and the heat breaks the bond, and that's it, separates itself. It fizzes away, the relationship dies away, and that's it. It can never be put back again. That's it, gone. Then you bounce to another person, another person. Those relationships don't last. Real relationship, real commitment is through what? Nikah. If Islam says, for example, don't utilize riba, interest, don't deal with interest, don't use usury, it will give an alternative, which is what? Hundreds and hundreds of alternative halal business you can do, where you can earn. Because usury is deception. It's actually fooling and misleading people, and using their wealth in the wrong way, and causing a great grief for no reason. It's zulum, it's wrong. So the prophets and messengers always want to stop people from harm, and they want to benefit. We think the benefit will come from the other sources, and I safeguard myself from harm. But no, it's the prophets and messengers. They always want people to what? Stop them from harm and want them to benefit. In regard to this, the Prophet stopped people from going to what? The magicians. He stopped them. Don't go there. He said, don't go to the jinnas. He said, don't go to the shaitan. He said, don't try to seek protection from them whatsoever. Stop connecting with them. Don't connect and don't have a relationship with them. What we're doing is that in our village, Baba has a friend and he has a jinnat, and we'll go to the Baba, and Baba, can you do this for me and can you do that for me because I'm having problems. My business isn't going well, can you sort it out? My relationship is not going well, here's some monies, can you sort me out? This is what we think, quick fix, isn't it? We want a quick fix, they will go fix it. No. Rasulullah says, stop this. He's stopping me and you from going to those people and having a relation with them. He forbade from going to astrologers, palm readers, amilin, who may tell you to wear, for example, wear this stone. This will bring you luck. Sometimes you've seen many people, they don't mind, because why? When they've actually have a connection, they think something will benefit them. For example, you've heard many times, many footballers, they say that they wear the lucky shin pads, or they wear the lucky underpants, or they wear the lucky socks. Look. What is luck? This stone is going to give you luck. This shirt is going to give you luck. Is it thing? No, there is no luck. Luck. Oh, what is your name? For example, brother, what's your name? Usman. Usman. The name Usman has this many numbers in numerology, and it has this many numbers. Yes, this number is very lucky for you. Usman, number 3 is very lucky for you. What is the number? What is luck? What is stone? What is rock? It's not going to give me anything. The real dua is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we say, oh, he's very lucky, Shaykh Ad-Dabbagh rahimahullah, Sayyidina Abdul rahimahullah, and others, and the Mashayikh, most recently Shaykh Ad-Dabbagh, they've mentioned in the recent bayans about luck and all these people, is that when we mention luck and we think that this is what it is, it means is that we can't understand it. We don't understand the reason behind it. That's why we say, oh, they're very lucky. For example, we can't understand, recently, now it's recent, the people who produced the vaccine for COVID, the company, the scientist, oh, he's a very lucky person, him. He's one of the richest men in the world now. He's a very lucky person. If only, we can't understand it. But if you knew the background that months before this, he started on this, they were about to declare bankruptcy, what happened there? It's not luck, it's the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's the manner that you do. It's all to do with whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala apportioned for you. It's not luck. However, that luck, what you're saying, because we can't understand, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe the shayateens are actually doing it. It's part of the plan. It's part of the plan to take him out of I'm not saying about this, but I'm saying generally when we see people are lucky, if we say we're lucky, maybe the shayateen, the devils are doing this by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to test him. Or maybe it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doing it, that He's using the angels to actually facilitate him and help him. It's because me and you cannot understand, doesn't mean we say it's luck. Okay? People even name their children lucky. They think they'll bring them luck as well. That's not the case. So here, all these people, what they're doing, have been doing for a long time, for centuries ago. All they're doing, these people say, wear this, put this on, put this taweez on, do this and do this act. All they're doing is actually taking advantage of the situation of the people, the scenario of the people, the situation they're in, the halat that they're in, and they're just filling up the pockets. That's what they're doing. That's all they're doing. And we fall for it. We keep on doing it as well. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Prophets I mentioned, they're seeing this and they can see that people are hurting themselves. Although they're already suffering in terms of the outwardly suffer, but those are financially suffering as well. They can see they're suffering. So what happened? The real lovers of the people of humanity are the prophets and messengers. And they could see this. And that is why they say is that we don't want you to give us any money in return, but just follow us and let us teach you how to connect to the real thing which will actually help you and benefit you. You are suffering, let us teach you how to connect, how to seek help, how to seek protection. Let us teach you this. So the angels are the real alternative how to actually how the statement of faith, Iman, actually helps us. Now, for example, to be a believer, to bring faith, what do you have to do? Brother, what do you have to do? Read the Shahada. What is the Shahada? La ilaha, ashhadu la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Is that I bear witness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. That's the statement. That is the testimony of faith, is that we are attesting, we are shahid, we are witness to the fact that la ilaha illallah, there is no true God who is worthy of worship than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Muhammadur Rasulullah is the last and final messenger, is his servant, is his worship messenger. This is the declaration of faith. This is the declaration of faith. So what does the la do? When we say la ilaha, it's in the Arabic language a negation. It negates. It's a negation. La means no. La ilaha. I brought faith upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the verse that we recited in the Quran was Amana Rasulu bima unzila ilayhi min rabbihul mu'minun kullun amana billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusuli. Yes? Amana billahi, believe on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusuli, his book and his messengers. Also, what we've done is that also when we were youngsters and we were in madrasa and we were in mosque, what did they teach us? Iman Mufassal. Now you're all panicking now. If I ask you to repeat Iman Mufassal, you think, oh no, I'm going to struggle here. Iman Mufassal is basically actually the articles of faith, basic terms of faith. Now, who can remember Iman Mufassal? I'll give you a clue. It starts with Amantu. Okay? Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi, isn't it? So what happens that now, but Amr is getting very, very, he's like, his sweat was coming down in his shoe. Brother Amr, you still remember, mashallah, very good. So anyway, so we've said, Amantu billahi, what we said is that we have believed upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His angels. One. First of all, we brought faith is that by believing, by saying, I believe, I connect myself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I connect myself to His angels. What we're saying is that the La ilaha illallah, the negation part is that if you need help, if you need guidance, if you need assistance, how the testimony of faith, the statement of faith helps is that if you need divine intervention, if you need help, if you need the superpower, is that no judge, no jury, no police, no gangsters, no thugs, no jinnat, no shayateen, none of them, no magician, no soothsayer, La ilaha, they are not the ones who can help you. They are not the ones who can actually help you and give you an assistance. Ilaha illallah, except what Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah says that, and whatever Rasulullah have taught me, that is the way in which whatever alternative that Allah and His Messenger have given me, that is the way I'm going to be connected. That is the way I'm going to get help. That is the way I'm going to seek benefit. So La is negating, is saying no. The kalam is telling is no, don't turn yourself towards this, is they can't help you. They are not the one Allah and His Messenger telling you to go towards. La is negating. Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that is a positive aspect, saying that don't create a relationship with them. Don't have a link with these shayateens. Don't have a link with the devils. Don't have a link with the practitioners. Don't have a link with these magicians, palm readers, soothsayers, voodoo men. Forget all of them. La, cut that link, cut that bridge, cut that connection. Stop that connection. And what happens? Muhammad Rasulullah says that rather connect with what Rasulullah is telling us to connect with. And what is that? Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi. Connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Connect with the angel. Wa kutubihi. Connect with his books. Wa rusulihi. Connect with the messengers. Are you understanding? Is that Islam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are giving us the alternative, and this basic iman, the basic tenets of faith is teaching us something so powerful that we have never pondered upon. Me and you are thinking, oh, it's just Ratta style, and we're thinking Ustadh is going to take my subbook now, right from 5-6 year olds. Have you learned Iman Mufassal? Yeah, Iman Mufassal. Oh, Iman Mufassal, which one is this? Amantu billahi malaikatihi wa kutubihi. And we're just doing Ratta style. We're just doing repetition. And then we read the Quran. Look at the verse of the Quran. Amana rasulu bima unzila ilayhi min rabbihim kullun amana billahi wa malaikatihi. After bringing faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's after and before the prophets and messengers, before the books even, before the prophets, before everything else, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying? Believe upon angels. Think and ponder. Is that Allah and His Messenger are trying to tell us is that bring faith upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have a connection with Allah, have a connection with this super power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, super creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, most powerful creation of Allah, which is the angels. And if you want help, if you need assistance, it is them you should be actually connecting with. So Rasulullah gave guidance to be, when you become Muslim, the Shahada, and after that we read the Iman Mufassal. Through that statement, when he said Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi, you refer to say, I connect with Allah and I am connecting with the angels. So in other words, that when you're connecting with something, for example, look, if this is a Wi-Fi connection. Now what happens is that if you have two connections, you can't connect at two things at the same time, can you? Your phone cannot do it. So what happens is that whichever I'm closer to, I'll connect to this. And if I was connected to the other Wi-Fi, if somebody else's phone was there and I'm supposed to connect to them, it will disconnect automatically. In other words, is that if you are saying, if you're bringing faith and iman upon Allah and His Messenger and the books and the angels and so on, is that when you become a Muslim, you are connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are connecting with the angels. It means that you should be now disconnecting with the shayateen, you should be disconnecting with the magicians, you should be disconnecting with the soothsayers, you should be disconnecting yourself from the jinnats and amilins and taweeds and all these other things. That is what faith is telling you. Connection with the superpower, disconnection with the evil. Connection with the light, disconnection from darkness. Connection to piety and goodness, disconnection from evil. That is what Islam is telling. That is the faith. That is what the faith, the iman, the statement of faith that we say, this is what is effectively telling us, me and you, to do. And it's so powerful that we are not actually applying it. We're just doing Rutta style. And we never ponder. So think about it. Have you ever pondered upon it? What is the Shahada telling me? What is Iman Mufassal telling me? What is the Quran trying to tell me? It is telling that you need to establish a connection with Allah, and if you need help, if you need assistance, if you need divine intervention, connect yourself to the angels. By connecting with the angels, what you're going to do is that you're going to disconnect from the shayateens. You're going to disconnect from the devil. You're going to disconnect from the jinnas, the amalin, the ta'weez, and all these evil magicians, the soothsayers. You're going to disconnect from them. That is the alternative that Allah and His Messenger is giving me and you. So here we've been taught, I've just read, if you want assistance, what happens? Turn to Allah and His angels. Through His angels you receive divine intervention, mercy and help and protection. Not the politician, not the gangster, not the fortune teller, not the magician or the magic or the shayateens. Connection with pure, disconnection with impure. Connection to light, disconnection from darkness. Connection to the most powerful being, disconnection for something which is nothing and has no power whatsoever. What is a stone going to do to you? What will a number do to you? What will a tawiz do to you? As such, nothing in comparison to whatever Allah and His Messenger and what they're saying. So how a statement of faith connects us is that, look, it quashes our need and reliance upon these lowly evil beings who cannot help you in any way with this permission, but is telling you to connect and establish a strong bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His angels. What happens is that we're doing a retreat about angels, how to connect with them. Realistically, when do we ever think about them? Maybe twice in our lifetime. One is that when we talk about angels, brothers, there's different angels, yes, this is. And the next time, when we're about to die, the angel of death, that time we know the angel of death is going to come. The angel of death, that is when we really, really think about angels. The sad thing is that we seldom think about angels. But the thing is, believe it or not, like our Honorable Brother Zafar was saying, is that those of our participants who are participating at home or online, is that the angels are with you. So have respect. So in order to benefit in this retreat, and of those of you here as well, is that they're with you, sit in respectable manner. Sit with, as if, for example, if you were to go to a wedding function, you'd put all the best clothing on, and you put itar on, you put a fragrance on, you'd make sure that you got the best, you dress immaculate. Why? Because you want to be presentable in the eyes of people. Allah and His Messenger and Allah and the angels are seeing you, they're with you. They're with us here. They're with you at home. So you need to make sure, have some respect and haya of the angels. They're with us. So sit with respect. In order to benefit from us on this retreat, is sit with respect. Sit in a modest way. Sit as if you're in the presence of the angels. Put fragrance on. Make sure you are actually clean. Your body is parked, you're clean. Put fragrance on. Sit with an attentive mind. Try not to be distracted. Try not to, in these 3 days at least, try and make sure that you have minimal contact with the outside world. Try to not to actually do that unless it's an emergency. Try to be as pure as possible, focused, and inshallah that is where you're going to get maximum benefit. And hence what I was saying before is that we seldom connect with angels. Unfortunately, maybe twice in a lifetime we think about angels, but we don't understand the significance of the faith, a statement of faith that is telling, and the Quran telling us about our belief of the angels and what they can do for us. Like the Prophet mentioned. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned is what? There is an army of Allah who are sinless. That's a super powerful creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here in this blessed place, we cannot imagine and we can't even think how many there may be here. If you were to see upon the whole of the world, the first heaven, second heaven, if our eyes were actually taken, the veils of our eyes were taken, and we were able to see, You know, if they say, oh, we're low in number, people feel, okay, who's in the majority? If we were able to see that the whole galaxy, the whole universe is filled with angels, there's not a single place in heaven where there is angels are not either worshipping or prostrating or doing whatever they're doing, in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is not a place, they will not find a gap. It's filled with angels. If we were able to see this, we would not be turning towards these lowly beings of magician, of soothsayer, of amilins. We'll be saying, look, the divine help is there. Divine mercy is there. So imagine now the veil is gone. Now we're filled, the whole place is filled with angels. We're in the company of angels. Imagine now in this retreat, we're going to try to now connect with them. We're going to try to be with them. We're going to try to learn and benefit from them, seek help. How to do that? That is what we're going to learn to do in these retreat, in the days to come. In these sessions, you'll be going through different muraqabahs, different meditations to help us to do this. Different exercises. Also, different sessions will talk about, for example, Ustadh Majid will be talking about the 10 most common angels that we hear about. Sayyidina Jibreel, alayhi salam, Sayyidina Mikael, Sayyidina Israfil, Sayyidina Azrael, and other great angels that we know about, that we may have information of. And also other guardian angels which is around us, which is protecting us. For example, I'm telling you, I'm just going a bit away and I'm cautious of the time as well, is that from the teaching of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabbagh rahimahullah, and we probably never would have known if they didn't mention. In Kitab al-Ibris, they mention one of the teaching is that when a person, just so that you know, just so that you're aware, is that when a person murders, a murderer, he kills somebody, when he unlawfully kills and takes the lives of someone, there is 360 angels which is to protect him. What they do from that moment on when he actually kills that person unjustly, they have no duty now. What they do, what they're supposed to do, their duty was to protect that person. Now the person is now killed, is gone, he's been killed unlawfully. What they do until the dying day of that person, they do badwa upon him day and night. Not only that, is that they then make supplication, badwa upon him, the 360 angels. Not only that, is that whatever good deeds, whatever bad deeds the person who's murdered, the dead person who's murdered, whatever bad deeds he did, it is then transferred upon the book of the murderer. Not only that, is that until the person is alive, is that whatever good deeds that he did, he does, until he dies, it gets transferred to the malaika doing this. They get the scribes that transfer it to the person who's deceased, who's been unlawfully killed. These are angels, the 360 angels. Have we ever thought about them? Have we ever thanked them? Have we ever said thank you for protecting me? Yes, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sent them, yes. But when one of those, by the way, is that just so that you know, even saying that Abdul Zabar, they've said is that when one of those angels actually then, with the izn and the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you fall ill, when you break an arm, you have an accident, it's because one of those angels actually moves so that that thing can happen. Otherwise, not a single thing can harm you without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they are moved, these protecting angels, when they are moved, that is when harm will come. That is when you cut. That is when you break. That is when you actually have an accident. But we are so bereft of, they say about the COVID, obviously it's the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if we're not got it yet, it's because of the divine protection. Who's protecting? The malaika. Malaika are protecting you. It's when you get it, is because of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anyway, that was aside. The prophets and messenger telling us what? Is telling you how to get their help. Not from the shaitan, the devil, from the angel. How to get their help, how to get the assistance, how to get the prayers, how to get the intervention, how to get the presence at all times in ease and difficulties. People, when they're really down, they need someone. When they're really, really buzzing and they're really great, they want to share something. In ease and difficulty, people want to share. Okay, you can be with the angels, you can share with them. How you can do that? This is what the Prophet said. How you can get help, and even at the time of death, they can help you. Even not only at the time of death, but even the Mala'ikan, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they can help you when? They can help you on the Sirat, they can help in their judgment, they can help you every step of the way in Akhirah. With the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you will find out with Ustadh Abdul Rahim, he will mention in his discourse. And all of this, by the way, all this teaching that you're hearing, this is none other than the teaching of Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. For those of you who are at home, you're listening, I know everybody, you don't want to hear me. I appreciate that. I don't want to hear myself. But these are all just to set you the task that we are learning, and we're always learning from our beloved teacher, Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. All this presentation that you're seeing, all the asatidahs, whatever presentation they'll be doing, these are all from the teaching of Shaykh Ahmad Dabbagh. Whatever they've said, they will inshallah try and actually touch upon maybe 1 or 2 sessions if they want. They will try and do that. But just to settle your heart and settle your mind, these are all from their teaching. And what we're doing, the reason why I'm sat here, is I'm learning to be able to actually somehow, unfortunately not a good job, I'm not doing a good job of it, but somehow maybe regurgitate and try to share you the teaching, this blessed teaching of our beloved teacher, in a way that it is easy for you to understand as well how they do it. Unfortunately, not a good job, but I try my best, and other teachers will try their best. But just for you to understand is that alhamdulillah, all of these teaching that you're seeing, presentation, this is none other than the teaching of our beloved teacher. So it's as if they are actually talking to you. It's as if they are actually telling you this. It's as if they are actually delivering these sessions. It's as if. So put your I cannot think of these things, that's for sure anyway. So this is all from them. Okay, inshallah, these are all their teaching according to their teaching and what they've actually delivered. But unfortunately, we tap into all this, the CEOs, the judges, the police, and so on, but we've seldom ever tap into the superpower of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the angels. We never tap into that. We tapped into everything else, the doctors, the physicians, the voodoo men, the jinnats. We never tap into this. We turn to people who are lucky. We mentioned this. There is no such thing as luck. Because we can't understand it, that's why we're saying they're lucky. Iman helps a person connect to the angels. When we bring faith, that is the thing that helps you to connect to the angels. I've mentioned this already. So we connect to everything else apart from the angel. That is the sad thing. And that is why we suffer. We turn to politicians, we turn to doctors, we turn to physicians, we turn to amilins, we turn to jadoo masters, we turn to voodoo masters and all these other things. But unfortunately, we suffer because we never turn to Allah and we never turn to this and tap into the power of the angels. In the light of Quran and Hadith, we shall hopefully in these days of retreat is that hopefully learn the practices which we can do, which Dr. Shalom will do. He'll go through the practices, the real life takers, the amals that you can do, that you can be in the presence of angels and in the company. Not just theoretical, this is the hadith, it's theory. Practically, you'll be given assessment sheets as well, that you can go and practice this amal for 30 days, practice Naba on 30 days. So you build the company of angels around you day in and day out. As the days progress, you are increasing. You know how we're networking with the people. Those of you who are into the buzzer, we network that person and that person and that person. Instead of people, network and build your connection with angels and increase the number of connection you have with the angels day by day. And then you can have an army of angels. When you go out, you've got an army to protect you. When you go home, when you go to work, you don't need to fear the boss because the angels are there. They'll be all right. They'll protect you somehow. You don't need to worry. Obviously, do your job properly, then you don't need to worry. So here is that, hopefully if you learn these practices, if you learn how to immediately connect with these beings, this being of light, this supreme power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created with the angels, you learn how to do that. You'll see the mercy, you'll see the tranquility. All whatever you do is under the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He has revealed to His beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam how we can do that. That is the iman that is actually told us. through the Imam by bringing belief upon Prophet ﷺ and bringing belief of what he said. I do not turn to the magicians, I do not turn to the jinnas, I do not turn to the shayateens, I turn towards angels, Allah SWT and His angels, and seek their help and protection. How are we going to do this? How is this going to happen? How will we learn? For example, we sat here, we can't see them now, can we? We can't feel them. We're going to learn through this. If you follow the guidelines that we set in the retreat, which you've all been sent through WhatsApp and through Zoom, is that the conditions, the admin have put the conditions of the retreat. If you follow the guidelines, try not to interact with dunya, put your phones away, try to not to interact with that. Follow the guidelines. And how are you going to do this? Where you're going to learn how to connect with your own angels. There's angels within you. How you can connect with them, speak with them. How you can speak to other malaika. I know that we've got, you brothers, you all look like angels, mashallah. So I know I'm company with angels now, mashallah. Especially this gentleman there, mashallah, looks very beautiful there. So their email is too cute as well. Very mashallah. So we've got people who look very angelic as well, very nice. I'm talking about the real angels as well, okay? We're talking about real angels. We're talking about them. So how we can actually be with the real angels and be in the company, how we're going to do that? How is this actually going to happen? Is through what? None other than our beloved teacher. And this is, you may think, oh, this, not this again, these brothers are, they're just, no, it's not. In everything, in every field, you need a teacher. In every field, for those who are new and participant in Zoom, is that for your biology, chemistry, physics, you need a teacher. For your driving, you need a teacher. For your daily life, when you're a baby, your mom and your dad were your teacher. So in everything in life, you need a teacher. In this, how to connect to the spiritual world and how to connect in the angelic realm, we need a teacher. And ultimately, the teacher is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Through that, from the teaching of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is come down all the way to the 14th year century to our beloved teacher Shaykh Ahmad Bab. And this journey of how to tap into, how to actually connect to the spiritual world and the realm of the angels is through a teacher, through our beloved teacher. So in any journey, you're in need of a guide who can show you places where you can go, the places where you should visit, the danger places. This is safe, this is dangerous. You need to know. Spiritually, you need to also know where you can go or you shouldn't go, how you can be influenced and so on. There are many dangerous places in this world where the tour guide can save you from dangerous people, dangerous places and creatures. And you need to know, if it is the case, there's a lion there, there's a scorpion there, there's a snake there, you need to run. How can I get out? You need to know the exit point as well. Similarly, in this spiritual world, is that you need to learn this as well. How you can do that. And through this, for your savement, for your comfort, for your ease, and that's for all of this, and how we can actually, you've got a fully authorized teacher who's a master in the science of purification, is a master in the science of all of hadith, of aqidah and fiqh and so on. This is the speciality, is through them that we'll actually learn how to connect and how to actually enter into the realm, the angelic realm. The teacher is the key. So what we mean by this here is that whatever conditions they've laid out for the retreat, for example, the Brother Zafar actually mentioned some etiquettes beforehand, where for those of you who are participants at home, if you really want to maximize your benefit, take it seriously. For 3 days, block yourself out in terms of try to minimize your contact with the outside creation, with the outside world, and with mobile phones, internet. Try to actually, mobile phones, connecting with other people I'm talking about, not with the Zoom classes, obviously, you have to do that. But connect yourself with the right people, disconnect yourself with the wrong people, be focused and abide by the conditions that we have laid out. Follow the teaching that we've said. If you follow the procedure, the teacher will be like a key which will unlock the door for you. The key will unlock the door to these blessed personalities, so you can go meet the likes of Sayyidina Jibreel, you can meet the likes of Sayyidina Mikael, you can meet the likes of Sayyidina Israfil, you can meet the likes of all these great angels that we're talking about, angels of heaven, and also your own protecting angel, the guardian angels, the Kiram and Katibin. You can meet different prophets and messengers, awliya and salihin, all through the teacher. He is the key. They are the key. In this world, only selected and authorized person can be guided to be able to give you a guide, be a guide who can tell you the dangerous paths and pitfalls. Similarly, in the spiritual world, because they're authorized, they will be able to guide you. The teacher will be able to guide you, who to go to, where to go to, which person to meet, and so on. This is condition. For these 3 days, everybody who will listen at home, listen very carefully, is that for these 3 days, for this retreat, one must accept. This is the condition, is accept whatever mentality you have, whatever thing you have, blank them all out. I am nothing, I know nothing, be completely blank. And for these 3 days and 3 nights, what we expect, what you to do is that accept the teacher as your guide. I know you'll have other teachers, but for now, I'm telling you, for this duration, is that accept the teacher as your guide in the spiritual world. Otherwise, the journey won't even start. It's like basically is that I want to go to from here. Obviously, we're in different areas, etc. Is that I want to go from Manchester to London, and I've got the car. And what do we need? A key. Now, will the car move without the key? No, that's pivotal. The car needs to be turned on, and then you can move. The journey won't start. Your vehicle, your spiritual body, the route trying to go, it won't move because the key is the teacher. So you need to accept in these 3 days and 3 nights is that what we want you to do is that please, for these 3 days, if you really want to maximize your benefit, is that your journey, accept the teacher as your spiritual guide for this duration of the retreat. The guide is the key to meeting the blessed parents, the prophets, the messengers, the malaika, and so on. He does not accept the guide. If one does not accept the guide, he will not be able to travel in the blessed presence. It's important that the seeker keeps the guide throughout the spiritual tour. Is that they are in your company all the way throughout the journey, and they will help you towards the destination. The seeker shouldn't leave the guide, or he will become lost and unable to find and reach his objective. Okay? Stay with them. When we say transfer, be with the teacher, connect with the teacher, go with the teacher wherever they take you to. And who is the teacher? This is the teacher. Beloved Shaykh Ahmad is that this is the teacher. For those of you who don't know, is that when you'll try to visualize, look at this, visualize them, see them. The moment you'll think, they're with you, inshallah Aziz. That's what you'll do. So here, so hopefully, again, I just repeat is that the subject topic that we discussed was how Iman, faith, the statement of faith connects us to, disconnects us from the shayateen, the devils, and connects us to the malaika and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Islam has given us alternative. Instead of turning towards these evil shayateens and devils and jinnats, amaleens, is given us a beautiful super alternative, which is the angels and malaika, which is the super powerful creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we can turn to for assistance and help and prayers and divine intervention. If we want that, they're the beings that we should turn to. How we can do that, that is what the whole retreat is about, how to connect. So different asatizas will come, they'll talk about different aspects in which will help us to connect with them, different practices we will do to help us to focus, to connect with these blessed creation. But more importantly, how all this will happen is through this blessed personality, Shaykh Ahmad. They're the teacher, you accept them for this duration. And if you follow the guidelines, inshallah, by the fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His grace, you will meet, you'll connect, and you'll benefit, you'll be in light, you'll be in nur, and hopefully that light will be lasting even after the retreat. Jazakumullah khairan jaza. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Jazakallah, that was Imam Qays for a beautiful and very wide overview of the subject matter, and his